and good afternoon, and thank you for clicking in today on the ETBU Sportsnet at etbsports.com, and welcome to the ETBU Extra Show. Hello, I'm Mike Mitke, voice of the Tigers. We're broadcasting live once again from CC's Pizza in Marshall, Texas. We're here each Wednesday from noon to 1 p.m. talking Tiger athletics. And if you live in the Marshall, Texas area, join us each Wednesday between noon and 1 as you come here to watch the show being taped to air later on the ETB YouTube channel. You can have the buffet, including the drink, for $5. That's a savings off the regular buffet price if you just come in to CC's and enjoy the great pizza. We're going to talk Tiger basketball first. I'm joined now by the head coach of the Tigers, Bert West. And Coach West, we're good friends, and every time you lose, I feel some of your pain, but you're the head basketball coach. You went on this road trip to play Hardin-Simmons as well as Louisiana College and UT Dallas, and you were hoping to at least get at least one win or two or maybe all three, but unfortunately you was not able to get a victory on the road trip. And good thing about it, you're back home Thursday and you're 6-0 at home.
That is a good thing. You look back and the UT Dallas game, after the first 4 minutes of that game, it was a one-possession game for the last 36 minutes. And then at Hardin-Simmons, for the entire 40 minutes of the game, it was a one-possession game. We came up short both of those. And then last night, it was not only a one-possession game, it was an overtime game. And the Tigers may be a little road weary, but physically I think they're fine. It's just, there's a lot of things that go involved being on the road for that long at a time. But the Tigers are alive and well, and we'll recover today, and we've got some things we can practice and get better on, and we look forward to tomorrow night.
Let's talk about the game last night that you played, not at Pineville, Louisiana, because Louisiana College is having some issues with their home court. They've had some water issues they've been trying to fix in the court they thought was going to be ready, but not able. You had to go to Alexandria, which is just across the way from Pineville, to play at LSU Alexandria. Never played there before. Does that affect the basketball player who's never played there before?
Oh, it may be a little bit. It certainly helps to be accustomed to your surroundings, and of course, it probably wasn't a disadvantage if we had been in H.O. West Gymnasium over on the campus of Louisiana College, because it's inconvenient for them also. But it's a small gym with stands on one side, probably holds 400 or 500 people. And it was standing room only. I bet there were 1,000 people in there, so it felt like 5,000. It was a great atmosphere. It was exciting. There was a lot of things that didn't go well in trying to prepare for the situation, but the game itself was a lot of fun. And like I said, the crowd was loud. They were into it. It was a great experience.
Visiting with Coach Bert West, the head coach of the Tiger basketball team here on ETB Extra Day, broadcasting live from CC's Pizza in Marshall, Texas. And, Coach, in that game last night against Louisiana College, you won the first half. They won the second half, but the most important part in overtime, you lost that one. You went in halftime leading 32-27, but they outscore you 38-33 in the second half. And then overtime, they outscore you 19-14. But as you said, the building didn't hold very many, but it was full, but it was electrifying. Kind of take us through that game and what do you think happened as the game in the overtime, what happened in overtime that did not allow the Tigers to pull out the victory?
Well, I don't know if Louisiana College watches my coach's show or not, so I don't want to give up every single thing.
I understand.
But I have a great friend, a longtime friend named Frank Hornsby, and he was watching the game, and he's an extra set of eyes, and he was able to give me a couple of good ideas about what was going on, and really, you don't ever want to make excuses, but we had some breakdowns on some fundamental things that we normally don't have, and in a one-possession game, that just really gets more and more important. But I always tell the players, if we want to play in front of a packed house, and if there's nobody there, let's play the game in a phone booth, and so we got to play that kind of a game. It was fun, but Louisiana College had been on an extended road trip shortly before us, and the last couple of games we saw, their defense was not good. Mm-hmm. Last night it was good. They'd had trouble making threes. They made 10 last night. There were just little breakdowns where we would pretty much have the game in hand. They would turn up their defense, and we did not react properly and would lose our lead. So if we had been able to execute a little bit better, we would have thought we were a lot better team. But we're not a bad team. We're still a good team. They've just got some things we got to improve on and get better. And I've told the kids all season long, there's not a team on our schedule that we can't beat, and there's not a team on our schedule that can't beat us. And so we've just got to stay the course and improve. And the guys are working hard, and the depth is coming through for us. We just need just a little bit better, and we'll be fine.
In that loss last night in overtime, the final score is 84-79. It moves your season record to 9-4 and 4 in American Southwest Conference play. Talk about some of the individual performances you had in that ball game that you were pleased with. I'm looking at the stat sheet, and Marshall's own Junior Mitchell, who played his high school basketball at Marshall High School, gets 20 points in the ball game, 10 points above his season average. He must have played very well last night.
Well, Junior is really a fine physical specimen, too. He's very strong and quick and a physical player. And in that type of game, that is a real asset for you. I'm not complaining, but it was almost hand-to-hand combat. And if you play a hand-to-hand combat game with Horace Mitchell, you're going to come in second. And so that was right in his wheelhouse, and he played really well. And some of our guys got pushed around a little bit. And when that happens, it puts us in a position a step away from where we're supposed to be. And that affects how you run your offense and how you execute. Defensively, we held our own and played extremely well. As long as we could stay in half-court defense, we really were guarding them. And that's when we would build a little lead. And it's when we would have turnovers or make mistakes, and they would get in transition offense. And then they had the advantage because they got some high flyers on that team, and they're quick and athletic and push you out. So being a physical player was a real asset for Junior last night.
Junior Mitchell, of course, with his game-high 20 points for the Tigers, and right behind him, 7 points, was your two tall players, Justin Felicia and Jamil Samuel, 13 points apiece. And it's always good that your big guys can score.
And they played well. It was an opportunity, and some of the times we weren't getting on the ball right where we needed to, and that made it a little bit more difficult. But it wasn't, they played well.
Okay, let's wrap up that game against Lieutenant College last night. I want to go back to the game in Abilene against Hardin-Simmons. Of course, Hardin-Simmons undefeated in conference play, 8-0, 12-1 year, having a great year this far. And I got to see the last couple of minutes on the live video feed, and it came down to the last shot, and you got your team back to the point that they got to have that shot, and Anthony Davis puts the three up, and it's so close. And I mean, how big of it's a letdown, but as a coach, when you see your player got the position there and just didn't fall, what's going through your mind then?
Not very much. It's from the standpoint of when you've done something for 41 years, there's not a lot that surprises you. Occasionally there is something, and there's always something to learn. But I just felt like I actually thought the ball was going in, and I didn't think we were going to get a very good shot at one point. And Anthony actually did an outstanding job of penetrating, and they cut him off. And so he got the ball back out safely, and as time was winding down, so he went ahead and took the shot. And I actually thought we were just going to steal that one from them because they had almost earned that victory over us, and we almost slipped up and got it. But, some of the things that are happening right now are not so much that we're physically tired, but I just think they're a little road weary, and all the travel and all the distractions and having to do things differently than we do them at home over a period of time. Mentally, they might not be quite as sharp as they have been, and so they didn't get to sleep long last night. So it's very important they get to bed early tonight. So we'll have a light practice and prepare and see if we can start taking care of business again.
Of course, you lost Hardin-Simmons 82-80. If Anthony's shot had gone in, you would have won 83-80, 83-82 at the buzzer. Like I said, I watched the live feed on the video, and, of course, Anthony put the shot up and when it go in, he went to the floor, kind of upset. They didn't make it, of course, upset. But I saw you go to him. And I hate to even ask you this. What did you tell him? Can you help us there? Can you help me? I was wondering what, as a coach, were you telling him after he made the shot?
Told him to get up. It's time to get up and move on. He did his best. He did a great effort. It just didn't go in. Get up, move forward. We got to keep going.
That's right, and that's exactly what the Tigers will be doing as tomorrow night they're at home against Ornelas Gymnasium. And I know your wife is glad you're home.
I've not seen her yet when she was awake. And but I did. That's my number one assistant coach. I can't do without her. She's a great coach's wife.
Diana West, who I'm talking about, and she is, and I know she can be there. She's going to be there tomorrow night at Ornelas. You got Sul Ross State University, the Lobos coming into the House of Blues, and Sul Ross State 2-10 over the year, 2-5 in conference play. They've had wins over Concordia, University of Texas, University of Tyler at Texas, I should say. Give me a scouting report that you know of about the Lobos.
You know how I am. I only go one at a time, and I just looked at them briefly before we came to the meeting, and they also have a couple of high flyers. They're very quick, they're very aggressive, and they're a very hungry team. And so they're catching us being a little road weary, and we must quickly, make the mental adjustments. And our preparation for them should not take an extra long time because they do some things similar to what we've been seeing. But the main thing will be just us developing that mental freshness and being prepared. We got to go fight for it. This is going to be like hand-to-hand combat, and the kids got to look forward to that.
So Ross, they have not played since last Thursday. Got the long trip from Alpine. They lost to Louisiana College last Thursday by a final score of 82-73. In that game, they had a sophomore, Stephen Holland, light up with 29 points. He had 22 points in his loss against Hardin Simmons. Obviously, you probably saw him on the video that you watched concerning Sul Ross and the scouting trip.
That's true, and we will prepare, but this is all about the Tigers. I'm more concerned with if we make our preparations and our team is together. That's pretty much the end of the story. It's just minor adjustments in preparing for other people. It's all about the Tigers.
All right. That's head coach Bert West of the ETBU Tigers, our guest today here on ETBU Extra. Coach, thank you for coming by and talking with us today on ETBU Extra. Once again, I interrupted his lunch here at CC's Pizza. He was eating down on salad, and I know he's got pizza on his mind next, so I'll let you get back to that. So, Coach, we'll see you tomorrow night at Ornelas as the Tigers host Sul Ross State University. Tip-off at 7:30. The game will be right here on the ETB Sportsnet. So, Coach, go eat and enjoy your lunch today.
I'm always ready to talk about the Tigers. Thanks,
I know
Mike.
you are. All right. That's Bert West, the head coach of the ETBU Tigers. Coming up next on ETBU Extra, we'll visit with the head coach of the Lady Tigers, Dustin Howard, and we'll talk Lady Tiger basketball when we come back. Once again, we're broadcasting live here on the ETBU Sportsnet at etbusports.com from CC's Pizza in Marshall, Texas, just located right in front of Lowe's. Each Wednesday from noon to 1, if you come and join us for lunch, you can have the buffet, including the drink, just for $5. Just tell the folks out at the cash register you're here to watch ETBU Extra in person and want the $5 deal to enjoy great pizza, great salad, and of course, if you've been to CC's before, you got to go down to the far end of the buffet line and pick up those great dessert pizzas that they also cook as well. Coming up next on ETBU Extra, we'll talk Lady Tiger basketball with the head coach of the ETBU Lady Tigers, Dustin Howard. Back with more of ETBU Extra in just a moment.